Phil, this is Success Week. I'm thinking of this week kind of like the Discovery Channel, and it's Shark Week.
Yeah.
Except instead of the sharks getting us, we're getting the sharks.
Yes.
This is Success Week, where our viewers and our community members have found success in trying to buy a car.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you picked out a success story for us to share with the audience out there. So without further ado, I'll share my screen because I'm getting really good at this. I'll start at the top. Time buyer. This is from Carolyn from a day ago. I will scroll as you continue to read forward.
Awesome. So thank you, YAA team and members, for all of your help. It's been a long journey, but I finally took hold of my new insight last week. I moved to Philadelphia to start a new job in January, so I needed a car to commute to work. I'd been borrowing a car up until now. I'll summarize my journey below in hopes of helping other first-time buyers like me. And this, Ray, I love the fact that we can help first-time buyers because it is so intimidating and such an ordeal to have to go through this. I'm so glad.
Truth be told, Phil, first-time buyers typically don't know how poorly or badly they did or how severely they got taken advantage of until their second or their third car.
Right.
So if we can help people avoid that altogether, that's one of the greatest joys of my life.
Absolutely. I love it. All right. My car buying journey. I first started by researching what type of car I wanted. My family had been longtime Honda and Toyota lovers, and I wanted a hybrid as a greener option. Electric plug-in vehicles weren't feasible for my situation, and I eventually fell in love with the Insight after a lot of research. Great. She did her homework.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I began the search for a dealership to do business with. Like what fellow YAA member Pill did way back when, I called dealerships within a certain radius and jotted down what their best offer was in a spreadsheet. She used a spreadsheet.
Yes.
Organized.
Yes.
Right?
I love that.
Some offered an Insight at $5,000 over MSRP. I would tell dealerships what my best offer was at the time and try to haggle. Unfortunately, none of them would budge from their prices, even when I tried to use YAA deal school methods, as it's really a seller's market right now. So I just say thank you and move on to the next dealership. See, people need to know when to move on, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
And we've got the tools and everything to be able to help people do that. I eventually found a deal.
And we have the people.
And the people.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thinking about getting an extended warranty? Go to joinyaa.com and check out our pricing there. There's no obligation, no spam, no robocalls. YAA for your extended warranty.
I eventually found a dealership in New Jersey that said that they would sell their cars at MSRP, which is great. Now for a Honda dealership, I'm so happy she found that.
Yep.
They didn't have any Insights in stock, but they offered to take a $500 deposit so I could have first dibs when one does arrive. Honda's version of a factory order, sort of.
Exactly.
Yep. Because they don't do factory orders. You have to take a reservation for an allocation.
Mm-hmm.
It was the best deal I was offered so far. And Ray, see?
That would be me.
You mentioned in a YouTube video that MSRP is pretty solid.
It is.
So it is, especially for this vehicle, right?
Yep.
So I did just that and waited about 3 months for an Insight to arrive. The dealership messaged me when an Insight finally came in and said I had 24 hours to take ownership. So I went to check it out. Yeah, went to check it out the next day. Unfortunately, during the time it took to arrive, the Insight's base price increased, which got passed on to me. We're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
We are seeing a lot of that. And the 1.9 APR promotion ended, but they held true to their word that they would sell it to me at MSRP. No add-ons, no gap insurance, no gimmicks, etc. Checkout process was smooth overall. Yeah, I mean, we are seeing a lot of the MSRPs being hiked up, across the board. Buyers are kind of getting stuck with it.
Well, it's not as if we didn't anticipate manufacturer suggested retail prices going up. So,
right.
Yes, it's an unfortunate reality.
It is. So here are things that she would do differently, right? So she'd wish that she had gotten a signed buyer's order. before she put down the $500 deposit. Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Always get yourself a signed buyer's order and make sure you agree on everything before you put any kind of deposit down.
Exactly.
I totally forgot about it, and when I asked about it afterward, the dealership said I'd have to wait until the car physically arrived. Had I known the Insight would take 3 months to arrive, I would have discussed options for locking in the deal and 1.9% APR with the dealership at the time of deposit. I don't know if the dealership would have agreed, but I wish I had tried, you know?
And if I remember correctly from when I worked at Acura for years, when those programs ended, they ended. You could not lock in the rate.
Yeah, right, because they were special rates. They were
Exactly.
they were in incentivized rates. I also wish I made sure the $500 deposit was refundable beforehand. The dealership didn't tell me that it wasn't, but I also didn't ask.
Yes.
So that's very important, especially on your buyer's order, to make sure that they write that in, at least
Yep.
write it in.
Yep.
While waiting the 3 months, another dealership that sold at MSRP reached out to me and told me they had an Insight coming in a couple weeks, but I was already locked in to the first dealership by that point. Final thoughts. You live and learn. That is true. I would
Yes.
definitely take these car buying lessons with me for the next experience. I wish I was able to get something under invoice like my fellow YAA members, but for now, I'll be happy with MSRP. For that vehicle, you did very well being at
Yes.
MSRP. As she mentioned, more dealerships were at $5,000 over on a $25,000 vehicle. If you're a first-time buyer, make sure you utilize YAA's articles and resources like locating a car, email templates, average doc fee by state, and dealership reviewer, which I'll be sure to contribute to and add my dealership to.
Good.
Thanks again, YAA, for everything. Really grateful as a first-time buyer. I couldn't have done it without this community.
What she described there is everything that we work on a daily basis in trying to educate folks, in trying to set realistic parameters for people in today's market. And like I said earlier, first time buyers don't normally figure out how badly they got taken advantage of until they're on their second or third purchase.
Because they're learning as they go, right? And
exactly as she said.
out.
Even though there was still things that she feels she could have done better, she was so far ahead of the curve for a first-time buyer because of everything we've done in the past and the help that you and Justice and Mario and Kimberly and everybody behind the scenes. It's remarkable to see that we get these success stories every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just like one or two a week.
No, it's a lot.
It's like several a day,
Yeah.
which points out that, as we've said so many times, if you're willing to put in the time, effort, and energy, you can still find a good deal relative to what's going on in today's market.
Exactly. And if you're on our website at joinyaa.com, we have a tremendous amount of resources just at your fingertips. And all it takes is just a few clicks here and there.
Yep.
Read a little bit, watch some videos. I mean, it's all there, especially Deal School back in the community.
And I will say, even though this is Deal School 2.0, and it's much more recent Deal School than the first one, many of the tactics that were discussed in Deal School really don't apply today. The market has changed so dramatically with the shortages as severe as they are for many models. The type of negotiating room that we had in the past, even 6, 7, 8 months ago, is even less today than it was then. But if you're looking at a Honda of some kind, and you can get it today at MSRP without additional dealer markups or additional dealer installed accessories, that's a win.
It really truly is. It really truly is. And I remember specifically the role play that you and Laura did just recently. That is so true to what is going on today. I think you guys did an awesome job with that, and I think it's extremely helpful. And that's back on the YAA channel?
Yes, it is. Yes.
So that would be something for everyone to definitely check out as you're going through negotiations on your new vehicle.
Yeah, we have. I'm pretty sure nobody's done as many videos as we've done, And yet I think that there's still so many more role play videos that we could do and should do.
Absolutely.
Phil, I want to thank you for sharing today's success story.
Absolutely.
This, as I said, this is like Shark Week. The only difference is that our viewers and our community members, they're the ones getting the shark, and the shark's not getting them.
Yep.
Thanks again, Phil. We'll talk soon.
Yep.